Welcome to the Week 3 recap of the People Power Fantasy Football. Today is going to be a little different. One of the hosts is sick, so there will be no Spaceman Lamb today. But we do have myself and Tempest.
Hey.
So we'll kind of go over everything without Lamb. We'll see if we can survive. He is kind of the heart and soul of this podcast, so it's going to be quite the mission to do this. But I think we can do it. I believe in us. So, Week 3. What a weird week in football. And lots of teams that should have performed that did not perform. And with that happening, we had very interesting endings to our matchups. The first one is, I'll just go over me and Lamb. Our game was the lowest scoring game in the league. I had 112. He had 64 points. Terrible game. I just happened to be the better of the two crappy teams. So I got the win, and I moved to 3-0. The next game is good old Mark Ledbetter. Mr. Goat himself falls barely 144.85 to 141.9. I don't think we'll be getting any memes from him this week on how great his team is. And the really funny thing, I'll get to Mark. I got a whole segment about Mark, so we'll hold off on that. Dirty Landry, Jimmy, was trying to take on and defeat the other undefeated team, 2 girlies and 1 cup, and he almost did it. He fell short by 9 points. So there's still 2 undefeated teams. Then we had Brown and Cupulator take on and defeat Green Around the Gills. And then Daddy Squad, the third team to surpass 200 points this season, took on and defeated Total Domination. And then Rams Bringing It Up the Rear gets their first victory against Beer Money. And then next week, the matchups are me versus Dirty Landry, Rams Bringing It Up the Rear versus Luck of the Irish, Mark versus Brad, Beer Money versus Green Around the Gills, Daddy Squad versus Lamb, and Total Domination versus Brown and Cupulator. Now with Mark losing, real quick, Tempest, you know Mark quite well.
Yeah.
How cocky is that? I want people to understand this isn't just me attacking him all the time, but your honest opinion on Mark when it comes to him winning. Is he a good winner or a bad winner?
Well, I think that he's very enthusiastic about his wins. I've never really heard him lose anything, but I have heard him a lot, like playing football and stuff on Xbox. I'm going to imagine that he's going to be pretty cocky about his wins because he's super into his football games. I think when he plays like football on Xbox, as far as I know, he's not that great. So I feel like maybe he has a reason to be super excited about his wins. I don't know.
That is the nicest description at the beginning. Then it took a terrible left turn and he started attacking the man's gaming ability. Mark losing earlier that morning, this afternoon on Sunday, he didn't have a kicker on his team. And I told him, I hope you lose by a point because you don't have a kicker. You're too cocky, kickers matter. I had a kicker get me 20 points one week last year. Yeah, they definitely matter. And throughout the game, his quarterback only got him 5 points. So he ended up getting a kicker because he needed the points. He has a team of backup running backs that he could have dropped on his bench. He dropped DeAndre Hopkins. You hear me, everybody? DeAndre Hopkins is on the waiver wire this week because Mark dropped him for a kicker that got him 3 points. Oh, Mark, I don't know what you're doing, man. You're going crazy in your old age. Now, there's one more thing I got to cover with Mark, though. Last week, I promised a team, if they beat Mark, I would buy them a trophy. But the stipulation was it'd be the only victory the entire year from that team. The team that beat Mark right now is 1-2. So if that team goes 1-12, well, I got to buy him a trophy, right? That's the deal. You listen to me, Luck of Irish, because that's you. You could be getting a trophy at the end of this. One winless team remains, and that is good old Lamb. Maybe that's why he's sick. Maybe he's not really sick. Maybe he's internally sick because he's 0-3 right now. He was named Trump Train, and you'll get a kick out of this. His new team name is 0-3. Like he changed it himself to 0-3. Oh man. The two undefeated teams are myself and White Brad, actually. 2 girlies, 1 cup. We are both sitting at 3-0. And sadly, we don't play. I hope I play him while we're both still undefeated. That'd be really cool. It'd be a showdown. Would that be a matchup of the ages or what? With the predictions this week, since we don't have the actual results, because Lamb's sick. I know he said he wrote them all down, so we don't know who's leading or anything. I know we were tied last week. He had mentioned that I was ahead of him, but he didn't bring up how Tempest was doing, and I think that was even before this Monday night game ended. But I'll go over his results real quick. Well, we'll just include. I'll answer for him because he gave us his results this week. So Tempest, Thursday night, Chicago at Lambeau against Green Bay. Who do you think's going to win that matchup?
I'm probably going to go with Green Bay, and that's just because that's the team that I know the best. Because when I lived in Iowa, we were like right on the border of Wisconsin, and everybody in Wisconsin that I knew loved the Green Bay Packers. So
okay, that's a good one. Lamb chose them as well, and I have to do that one as well. They're just too good. Sunday, we have Oakland, a offense that disappeared this past week, versus Denver, who also didn't play as well as they should have. But it's Oakland at Denver. Who do you think's going to win that game, Tempest?
I'm not sure about that one. I don't have any feelings either way. I feel like it could easily go either way. But I guess I'll go with Denver.
Okay. Lamb went Denver. I'm going to go Oakland. They're both really good teams. I just think Oakland's the overall better team. I know Denver's home. That definitely matters. But just to make things interesting, I'm going to go Oakland. This one is only on here because I'm a huge Carolina fan, and it's Carolina at New England. Carolina, a team whose offense has not shown up to a single game this year, but with a pretty good defense. You can argue that because how New Orleans tore them apart, but a pretty good defense and a terrible offense right now versus the world champions, the New England Patriots. Lamb is going New England. Who are you going, Tempest?
I guess I'll probably go with them too. They sound like a lot better team, but I do hope that your team wins anyway.
I know I want to vote Carolina, but I have to go New England.
You never know. Yeah. Something might happen. There might be a miracle.
Yeah. Indianapolis at Seattle. Lamb's going Indianapolis. Who are you going to go?
I'm probably going to go Indianapolis too because I've lived right by Seattle. And I don't know. The people there didn't really give me that impression of being the best football players. Maybe that's terrible for me to say. Because everybody I knew from there was a bunch of hippies, so...
That's funny.
Yeah, I'll go for the other team.
Washington at Kansas City. Lamb is going for Kansas City. What about you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about those two teams, so I'll just go with Kansas City too.
I'm going to go Washington because they made Oakland look basically like the Cleveland Browns. Like they played very well, and they got some momentum going into that game. But yeah, those are both. Kansas City's a good team. That's going to be a good game to watch. So remember last week when we were doing predictions, and you chose Baltimore Ravens because, well, Ravenclaw, duh. I think that's exactly what you said. Did you hear the results of that game by chance?
No, I didn't.
Well, they played the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they were in London. And Jacksonville scored 44 points, and the Ravens scored 7.
No, that's terrible.
It was awful.
Like, even though I don't know that much about football, that still kind of stuck with me. Like, the Baltimore Ravens, I was, like, kind of attached to them a little bit because of that conversation, and that makes me sad.
Yeah. I played their defense, and I don't know how I beat Lamb this week. We both played like crap. But I played their defense. They got me negative 10 points. So I started that game negative 10-0.
Oh, that's not good. That's pretty bad.
That's terrible. Absolutely awful. Well, I mean, that's all I have written down for stuff. You wanna say anything to the league?
Well, you guys all have pretty creative team names. That's for sure. Like, those could be some, like, freaking gamer names on YouTube. They're really creative. Like, I wouldn't have expected that. So, it's pretty awesome.
You just left the Xbox party.
Huh?
It says you just left the Xbox party.
Oh. That's dumb.
Right on. Well, hopefully Lamb feels better. Thankfully, Tempest was here to fill in this week. Short, sweet, to the point, and everyone, make sure you say congratulations to Mark on his loss, because you know he's going to be kind of upset. So tell him congratulations, and we're rooting for him to lose again. All right. Well, until next week, I'll see you guys later. Bye.